Hi, how are you today? Tonight's whiskey review, Monkey Shoulder, a blended malt. When blended malt means a blend of single malts, no grain whiskeys in the bottle. And Monkey Shoulder is composed of three Speyside whiskeys, one of which is rather obscure. It's called Kinninvie, and Kinninvie was in Clan MacGregor, I think. A bottom shelf economy blended Scotch whisky with plenty of grain whisky in it too. And the two other component malt whiskeys in Monkey Shoulder are Glenfiddich and Belvany. So Belvany and Glenfiddich are well-known single malt producers, famous distilleries. So, and Glenfiddich, Belvany and Kinninvie are all owned by William Grant & Sons. And William Grant & Sons is the company that owns Grant's whiskey, a blended whiskey that comes at an economy price in a triangular bottle. As you can see, I don't have a lot left. This bottle goes quickly because it's easy drinking. Pour ourselves a good dram. Oh, there's hardly any left. We're going to use her all up. There. There's no age statement with Monkey Shoulder, and it retails for around $30 US. In Canada, in Ontario, it's retailing for, I think, $53 or $54. A little more about the money for value proposition, or value for money proposition later. I bought this in New Hampshire and I paid an unbelievably cheap price, $23 or $25. I can't remember exactly. Now, it's a very light whiskey, no age statement. Online they say it's probably between 3 and 8 years, the composite whiskeys. Let's start with the nose. I pick up apples. It's definitely got that classic Speyside scent to it. And it's not overly sophisticated or pretty, but you respect the fact that the price is pretty cheap too. Get a little bit of caramel. It's really not bad. On the palate, definitely got an apple juice flavor note. No other way to put it. Apple juice. The whiskey tastes young. You got grapefruit, you got honey, a little bit of caramel, a little bit of acrid smoke. The finish is malty, a bit of fine pepper, but I keep tasting an alcohol note that I find a little annoying. It's sweet, some green apple in there, but I find, so in general, think apples, caramel, oak, sweet, relatively smooth body, does tend to dry by the finish, but the drying notes are a bit of a bit of rubbing alcohol. I'm just not a huge fan of this. Oop, spilled a little bit. Monkey Shoulder is a fairly popular brand, and I think a lot of that has to do with the price. If you go to the website, it's definitely targeting a younger audience, or a younger whiskey fan. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I think in a mixed drink, this would probably work well, but on its own, I don't find it impressive. And but if you read online reviews, it's held in quite high regard. I'm not sure. I had it quite a few years ago, like 10 years ago, and I thought it was pretty good, but it doesn't seem so good anymore. And I had this bottle from the beginning, kept detailed notes, and it's actually improved a little bit as it became more oxidized. But definitely in the beginning, I noticed a rubbing alcohol note to it on the finish that I just found annoying. And that's due to the young alcohol. This whiskey was produced only with ex-bourbon casks. And I think the bulk of the malt whiskey used here is not Balvenie or Glenfiddich, but rather Kinninvie. And Kinninvie is a new distillery, relatively new in the whiskey world. I think it was established in 1990, mothballed 2010, reactivated in 2012. Just because a whiskey is newly established doesn't mean it's bad or anything, but I think there's a reason Kinninvie makes up the key component in Clan MacGregor, a whiskey that you're probably not familiar with, a blended whiskey that is, and if you are, you know it's pretty cheap stuff. In all honesty, I can't recommend Monkey Shoulder. Most people would. They'd say for the price you're doing okay. I get this annoying alcohol note. In Canada, Monkey Shoulder is retailing for around $53. Definitely no value for money here in Canada. Internationally, I don't know its availability, but at $25, it's decent. $30, I would get a good American bourbon, or I'd go to an Irish whiskey, or really seek out an entry-level 10 or 12-year-old single malt, Auchentoshan, Aberlour, Aberfeldy. I think there are better options at the $30 price point. And I'm kind of surprised because the online reviews and written reviews were quite positive. Anyway, that's my tasting note of the night. I apologize for not reviewing more frequently. Life's been busy, but I'm going to try to upload quite a few reviews in the near future. Cheers. Thank you for tuning in.